So Cathie Wood, the famous investor behind the ARK ETF, or series of ETFs, just went bargain hunting and bought 3 stocks this week in addition to Tesla. So here are the 3 stocks, and there are some very interesting ideas, starting with number 1, CRISPR Therapeutics. So if you're not familiar with CRISPR, what CRISPR is basically gene editing abilities. So it's basically a molecule that they're able to use to edit your genes. So now this technology has been out for a while, but it's not until very, very recently that they got approved for one of their drugs. They're expecting to make billions off of this. Basically, it's a drug that can take people that have sickle cell anemia, so have problems with their blood where it's shaped incorrectly. They're able to actually modify the genetics of this person's blood and actually fix that problem, which is crazy because this was never possible before. So they finally got an approval, and it sounds like they actually have a lot of other really interesting things in the pipeline as well. So potentially CRISPR could be one of those things that blows up, and we'll see a lot of really interesting new discoveries coming from CRISPR. So I think that's number one thing is quite an interesting buy. The second stock that Cathie Wood bought is something called Recursion Pharmaceuticals. This one is still much more early stage. They're saying that probably they're not going to be making a lot of revenue for a while, but it's very interesting what they're working on. Essentially, they're using computers for drug discovery. So up until now, it really took months or years actually to discover new drugs, whereas this company is using computer power to basically make that process much, much quicker. So instead of taking years to figure out what new drug candidates are out there, it could take as little as a few hours or a few days. So this could be potentially a game changer. Again, seems like a much more early stage company, but the idea behind it sounds very, very promising. And the last company that Cathie Wood bought that I think is a very interesting play too is Toast. So what the heck is Toast? You might have actually seen these guys if you go to restaurants quite often. I like going to restaurants personally. You might have seen that they have these machines that have a little toast at the top, and essentially you could pay for your meal using this Toast terminal, right? Now, what makes Toast different from things like Square and other similar types of devices is that Toast is actually just focused directly on restaurants. So whereas Square is kind of like trying to do everything out there, Toast is hyper focused and can potentially add a lot more value to restaurants and doing things like, managing their inventory and employees and all that kind of stuff. They're really doing specific things for the restaurant industry. So in many ways, we've started our business. I feel like being specific matters a lot because you get a competitive advantage. Toast could potentially be doing that too. And right now, they've only penetrated about 10% of the US market in terms of restaurants, and they seem to be growing quite quickly. So this might actually be a very interesting play as well. All right, so let me know what you think about our 3 picks. She invested in 2 pharmaceutical companies and 1 payment processing company. Do you like any of these plays? Would you invest in any of these companies yourself? Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. I'm really excited to hear what you think about these because I might actually buy some of these as well. Let me know.